All right. Here we are with our guests, David Taylor and Kristi Grissom. Welcome. This is
Well,
How are you?
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us, Shane. Thank you.
Yeah. It's Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast, episode 3. So I want to say welcome. I want to say I'm your host, Jay Hill, along with co-host Shane Feek. I'm broadcasting live from a stunning and very spirited Maxwell Mansion in the beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. If you people have not heard of this hotel, it was built in 1856 by Dr. Philip Maxwell, prominent Chicago surgeon, and a real estate prospector. If you've never visited Lake Geneva, do yourself a favor. You're going to want to. So, David Taylor is a talk show host and paranormal investigator out of Raleigh, North Carolina. David started having paranormal experiences as a child. David dabbled in the paranormal field on and off throughout his life and dove in when he moved to Portland, Oregon. When David moved to Raleigh, he formed Our Haunted Lives, which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Kristi Grissom Grissom has been a paranormal investigator for the past 8 years. She's a crew member of Ghost Hunt Weekends and Raft Chasers. She's the lead investigator in Our Haunted Lives and the co-host to this man, David Taylor. Our Haunted Lives talk show on the Paraflixx. Kristi has communicated with spirits in the spirit world since a child, so that's pretty cool. I still do that to this day. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Jay and Shane, for having us. I appreciate it.
So first, I kind of just want to say, it's just awesome what you guys are doing right now on Paraflixx.
Thank you.
He went away.
Oh no!
That's all right. I'll stick around with you guys.
Okay,
Thanks,
cool.
Jane.
Where did Jay go?
Well, I will say that this is kind of odd being on this end of it instead of interviewing you.
I know.
Dude.
I know. It was like what I was putting up on social media of where the interviewers get interviewed. So he's back.
See, this is part of why he does it from the haunted location. It messes with his stuff continuously. Yeah. This will happen again, guaranteed.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah,
they love. Now, am I allowed to cuss? Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the spirits are going to fuck with you if they can. They're going to
correct
for any way to do it. Right. And they just got you, Jay. They just got you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I was telling David earlier that last week when we were here, they happened to lock the door on me when I was coming back up from downstairs. And
no way.
Yeah. And when I came in here and I said, nice try, guys. That's funny. And then I heard a faint laugh. So,
you got a disembodied voice.
Oh yeah. I have my recorder. Every time I'm up here, I run my recorder. So
nice.
Oh yeah.
Good idea.
Oh yeah, nice. I have to. I did have a small camera up here too, but
if I start whispering, are you gonna think it's a ghost? Like
no, no. Come on.
Sorry.
So tell us what you guys got going on now. I mean, you guys got some irons in the fire. So what's
Yeah, we've. I'll start off, and then I'll hand it off to Kristi so she can kind of wrap it up and stuff like that. So we're finishing up season 1 with Our Haunted Lives on Paraflixx. So next week we've got Matt Vlade and Will Cook from Haunted Roots. It's a great documentary about Matt's, I think, hometown. That was a great interview. And then on May 5th, we have an incredible interview with Chris Smith and Mike Goncalves from the Wraith Chasers. They were so nice to do that. And we've got, we're just really working really hard to get season 2. We've got almost it all booked up right now, along with doing investigations. We were just at St. Albans Sanatorium. I always say it wrong. And then we've got some things coming up this weekend. Kristi, you can take over.
Oh, I got to think. It's like, what is this weekend? Oh, but yeah, we're going to Salem, Mass this weekend. We're doing a seance ritual with Patty Negri, Father Sebastian, and another gentleman. I can't think of his name right off the top of the head. He's probably going to cut my head off there. I can't remember. But but anyway, yeah, that's going to be awesome. We've got some really good guests coming up. Possibly for the third season with Paraflixx, and a lot of heavy hitters is what I like to call them, but
Yeah.
they're not set in stone yet, so I can't really give out the names, but we're really excited about it. Really excited.
Yeah, we've got about 5 shows in the can right now for season 2, so we're kind of rounding that out. And and Kristi, she just nails it on the head every time with getting these guests. Like she was telling you before we got on air, she's relentless and she does a great job. She really does. So.
Well, that's
I think it might annoy people sometimes. It's like, Kristi, go away, leave me alone. But you know what the saying is, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm the squeaky.
Well, sometimes you got to be that way.
Right.
Yeah. You want stuff done, you just got to do it.
Very true. Very true.
So. Shane, do you have a question for Dave or Kristi?
Yeah, she was talking about having the seance thing going on. Mm-hmm. Some of the new equipment that I've recently built. Someday we need to get together, and I need you to have a seance with that equipment.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I have never led my own seance. I have a couple, but I wouldn't like to. I don't like to say I'm a professional in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'm always learning, and I never want to stop learning. So maybe I'll learn a lot this weekend from Miss Patty Negri, and then I can pass it on to you, Shane.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know much about me, but I'm the strangest investigator you guys have ever seen. Okay.
I don't know.
I've been with a few, man. But
so my whole stick is I'm a scientist.
Okay.
And I do stuff. I mean, everybody in paranormal says, oh, yeah, I do the science. I do this. I do. No, we're talking numbers. We're talking statistics. We're talking, lab grade sensors.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I've just recently interfaced a plasma globe, like you get at Spencer's.
Sure.
To a data recorder. So I can record if anybody gets near it, touches it, influences it, etc.
Yeah.
I need to get this in front of people that have spiritualness, because me, I'm like a rock. I'm as spiritual as a rock. Literally, I have no intuition, no nothing. I know my limits.
What was it that Josh Head said last night? The other night when we recorded, he had as much.
He's much of a thing as a blade of grass.
He had
as much as a psychic as a blade of grass.
Intuition,
that's me. Yeah. So I need you spiritual people to guide me where to put all this fancy equipment.
Yeah, eventually I want to have you come here and you know what I mean, and sit down and hang out and do an investigation. I've investigated here a couple different times. So
that's an interesting take on what you got. Now with that globe, is it a take off a Tesla coil, Shane?
It is very similar to one.
Okay.
On a small scale, but it is not one.
Okay.
But yes, it's interfaced to a data logger. That's awesome. The cool thing about that is at certain universities, we've actually had people that's been able to actually interact with it. And actually get it to do stuff. So, and we haven't determined, okay, are these people, psychic and it's psychokinesis, which is still paranormal, or are they directing the spirits to do it? See, and that's where I need the research. So I need somebody to direct spirits, tell me what they're doing. I'll collect numbers. I'll do statistics. I'll give it a scientific paper, and we'll do some stuff.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when it comes to the paranormal, to make it a whole, you need so many different aspects to make it that way, whether it be the scientific edge, whether it be the psychic or the medium, or just somebody that has good intuition, or a person that's not afraid to do something, some people just don't want to go into the room by themselves. And
I'm not afraid because I don't sense nothing. I'm like,
but it takes. That's why they call it a paranormal group. You know,
Yes,
you have the groups. Now, there are some
absolutely.
solitary people. There are solitary people like Sean Daniels.
Yeah.
He loves to do solos, and a lot of other people like to do solos. But you're absolutely right. It takes, especially if you're wanting to be a paranormal skeptic.
Correct.
That's when you will get
Mhm.
into the scientific aspect of it, as opposed to just going gung ho and saying,
Sure.
"Oh, it's demonic."
Oh,
you know?
everything's demonic.
I've heard that enough. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I'm the 80% skeptic,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
20% believer kind, you know.
yeah,
Hell, I don't even believe myself half the time.
right.
Hey,
What
it's
did I
good
just
to
catch?
TV,
You
you know.
walk into a room and it's like, really? You know, you know, it's just kind of like,
Or you
come
just turn
on.
around and go right
Yeah,
back out.
Right,
like,
right.
Nope, I'm
Yeah,
not doing it in
yeah.
here.
"Yeah."
Sorry,
Yeah,
it's gone.
yeah.
It's real interesting with that device, Shane. Have you thought of possibly like hooking up with somebody? And I'm not saying Kristi or anything like that, or just sending an email to somebody and say, "Hey, would you try this device out?" And then just kind of
Sure.
mailing it to them.
I've thought
and
about
then,
that.
yeah,
A lot of the stuff that I use has enough technology to it that I pretty much need to run the equipment.
gotcha.
I mean,
Gotcha. Okay.
my goal eventually, because I build all my own stuff. I'm an
Mhm.
electrical engineer kind of guy.
Awesome, dude.
I'm programmer. I build all of the equipment from scratch.
Okay.
Most of it is in what I would call beta, which means it's fully functional. It's
Sure.
acts normal. You can use it in an
Right.
actual investigation, but it's not quite public ready. Or if
Mhm.
it is, there's enough buttons and switches and knobs and things that they're going to be like, no, you need to run this.
Right.
And so, but what we want to do eventually is get groups together to actually have a seance or have a
Sure,
group of mediums.
Kind of like a
all
field
sit around
test.
this thing. I mean, and there's more stuff than just this plasma globe. I mean,
Sure,
this thing
sure.
has like 20 some sensors. It's recording every second.
That's awesome, dude.
And, you
Sounds
know,
like my the EDI that I have, David.
Yeah.
it's very similar
Yeah.
to, think of an EDI on steroids times
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. You got to take a picture of it, or you got to post.
Yeah,
it. One of these
I will
days-
get pictures up
Yeah,
soon. I'll get
I
some
mean,
good
'cause
quality
the way
photos.
the way you describe it. I mean, it's going to take a small payloader to get it in, somewhere.
Oh, it's physically kind of small.
you know?
But, I mean, it fits in a Rubbermaid tote. But,
right.
Okay.
Okay. When you see it, you'll
Oh,
think,
he
okay,
said Rubbermaid totes, David.
Oh no!
Oh,
Don't say those things, Shane. You just triggered me. This is-
let's hear. I got to know why you're triggered.
Well, Kristi loves gadgets. Okay, so
Good.
she's
My
got
girl.
she's got lots and lots of gadgets, dude. So we were doing an investigation at here in North Carolina at a place called the Harmony Hall. It was built in 1782, and it's a great place. And Kristi's like, okay, can you help me with my equipment? It's every time with her. She's got two of these things, right? Full to the brim, right? Then she's got a dolly to take them out.
love that girl. I love
it's,
her.
it's so awesome. So I just go, Kristi, are you bringing your 2 tubs of fun with you? So
I bring my 2 tubs of fun.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing of it is I don't use half the shit that's in there.
I know.
It's like I've got a equipment graveyard here in my house.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like buying this stuff.
See, that's why that was one of the main reasons I built the board, because just like you, Kristi, I used to carry tubs full of these individual meters, and you
Yeah.
couldn't see them all at the same time. You
Yeah.
couldn't pay attention to them all.
Right.
Now I've got a little tiny tub. I bring it in, I set the thing down, I hook up a few wires, I turn on the computer, and now we're
See,
recording.
my way of thinking is you can never have too many of the same like pods, REM pods or whatever.
Sure.
Because you never know what spirit can manipulate what.
Absolutely.
Now, it might be the same thing that they're manipulating. Like I have the Wraith pod and then the REM pod, and then I've got a Rook and all this. They basically pick up on the same thing.
Yep. Ions.
A spirit might be, ooh, that one looks more cool than that one. So my way of thinking is if you buy like 10 of the same thing,
Yeah.
Understood.
you never know which one they're gonna pick.
Did
know?
you buy one of those Wraith Chaser REM pods yet?
Oh yeah, I got the
You got
top
one?
10. I got one the
Oh,
top
okay.
10 that came out, of course.
Nice,
That's
nice,
crazy.
nice. More equipment. So
And
there you
that
go.
one worked. That one went off at the Conjuring House, where none
Yeah,
of the other ones went off.
yeah, that's
It
what you're
went
saying.
off at St. Albans. Well, no, I didn't try to St. Albans. There's a couple other places. It's the only other one that went off.
Mhm.
The REM pod didn't go off. Other like the mail meters, all that, they didn't go off.
Mhm.
The race pod went off.
There you go. There
Hey,
you go.
Dave.
Giving you a plug, guys. Giving you a plug to
Yeah.
race chasers or the race chasers.
There you go.
So, David, have you been to the Conjuring House?
No, unfortunately, the one that Kristi went to, she let me know but this was a couple days earlier. A lot of people fell out, and it was just
Right.
really, flights at the time with COVID and stuff like
Right.
that. I mean, there was really, I wanted to go, and I was in contact. Do you know? And then she's like, yeah, you probably could have come. And I was like, fudge, I wanted to go. So,
Well,
so
it was
no.
a group. It was a group out of Texas that was doing it, and they had invited me as a special guest. And then some of the other special guests had backed out, and they're like, "Hey, how about David, your partner? We would love to have him." And I'm like, "Yeah," but it just didn't.
It was Friday.
Yeah,
If you told me Wednesday, I would have been there. So no, but it is one of the places where when things get moving a little bit more for us, I think Kristi and I will have another, or she'll have another experience there, and then I'll get up there too. I mean, there's so many places and so many people that we're working with now to do investigations with them. A lot of things, like a lot of the guests that we're having on the show, they're inviting us out to do investigations with them.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and it's really great, like with Beyond the Veil or with Huntophobia.
Oh, those guys are on in a couple weeks. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
so.
Francis and Doug are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
They're just
Yes.
great people.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to do something with them. Brian John Laverty from Huntophobia, he's going to be in the States, I think, next month, and we're supposed to meet up. He's doing a 2-week swing through like Virginia and stuff like that. So we were supposed to meet up with him for a couple episodes. I was out in Arizona, and I did an investigation with the Nightmare Project. So things are really starting to move, and we're really starting to meet people, and just really trying to make OHL is really kind of cool place to go, because we're a great show. We love our show. We love the concept of it. And paranormal, when we talk about the paranormal community, everybody can be really serious all the time. I mean, because we're trying to gather evidence and different things. But you know what? You got to have fun too.
Yeah.
So that's what we bring towards the show of, you know what? Let's get to know this person. Let their personality, the charisma, whatever they have, come out, so the viewer can really, get involved with that person, because they can see them on their screen and see them investigate, but they don't know what the person's like. So,
right.
And then, with me, I'm the square, and Kristi over here, she's the glue that keeps it together. She's crazy, man. She's awesome though.
And you need that balance, though.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta have that. You know what I mean?
Well,
when
that's
it comes to...
with life in general. I mean, the way I look at the way with my practice as being a pagan and practicing the craft, everything is about balance. Well, even if you don't do that, people don't realize how much there is things that have to balance out. You have the dark, you have the light, you have the white, you have the black, you have positive, you have negative, you have the moon, you have the sun, everything, the yin, the yang. Doesn't matter what culture you come up in, there's always something dealing with balance.
Yep.
So, don't get me started on all that. I'll go. But as to what you were saying, yes, we do balance out, and sometimes he has to keep me in check. So, and that's what I love about David. But then sometimes I have to tell him to quit being a nerd.
Yeah.
Whoa! That's a harsh word. I feel that.
Yeah,
I
right.
can feel it.
Yeah.
Shane, it's okay. It's meant in a loving tone.
I
So.
would never say that to you, Shane.
Well, I am a nerd. It's
Yeah.
okay. You can call me a
You
nerd.
see, I haven't even used that name on Shane. I mean, how
But she
is it
called
that-
me a nerd. She didn't call Shane a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Dave and I were together, we'd be two nerds in a pod.
Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
a podcast. one of
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
Oh,
Well,
For sure.
I'm in my own right. I am a nerd as well because I love history. I love researching things.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
love the different religions, the different. I love
the aspects of
the
it.
Greek, the
Yeah.
Roman, the
Mhm.
Norse mythologies.
Sure.
Yes.
I can read all of that, and I love vampires. Oh, I love vampires.
That's Kristi's jam right there.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am getting vampire teeth done by Father Sebastian, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
She's so
Sweet.
giddy. She's so giddy.
Y'all are
I
like,
get
you're doing what?
Yeah. Hey, whatever makes you happy. That's
You know what I
That's-
think is going to be funny is when I go to like Dollar General and I'm going through the checkout line,
And
and
smile.
I'm, ordering
you're gonna
stuff, and the
scare
lady's
some
like,
old lady to
and then I'm gonna
death.
be like, and then they have these fangs coming
Right.
out. And then like,
That'd be cool.
You're
That's gonna be
You're gonna
great.
see, you're gonna see the cops show up, and this lady's
I
gonna be
know.
on the floor. And,
She's a vampire. She's a real vampire. You're
and
like,
then it's just
cops, it's
Cause
No,
and
but
it's
see,
cause and
just a
effect.
grill. Yeah, no,
that's
no, yeah,
one
no.
of the rules, though. That's one of the rules by Father Sebastian. You do not don or remove your teeth in
In public.
front of mundanes,
Oh, okay.
which
There you
y'all
go.
would be considered
I
mundane.
cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to. I
I've
cannot
been
wait to.
considered a lot of
interview that
things,
guy,
but
man.
mundane, I
Yeah.
don't think I fit that motif. So yeah, I think you're on your own on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not mundane.
No.
We know that.
I'm nocturnal.
No, of course you're not. No.
And I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb at this séance and thing. But no, I'm really looking forward to interviewing Father Sebastian when we get the chance to do
Oh,
that.
that's
He's
cool. Yeah.
he's such an intriguing man. The books Kristi has just told me about the books and things, different things, and about just the person, and then just doing some research on my own. I mean,
It's like,
It-
when you meet somebody or you read something. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, David.
No,
I
you're fine.
do
You're
that
fine.
all the time. But if I don't get the thought out, I'll lose it.
Yeah.
But it's like when you finally come across something that it's like, holy shit, this makes sense.
Mhm.
And then it starts putting some pieces together throughout your whole life that it's like, wow, that makes sense now. And this makes sense. And this doesn't quite make sense, but let me research it a little further. And some of it might make sense. And that is, since I've delved into the vampiric, like vampiric magic and just the way the living vampire works in today's society, which I know I'm sounding like cuckoo bird right now, but it is. It's fascinating, and I'm really nervous to meet Father Sebastian this weekend. I
She'll
mean,
be fine.
I'm nervous, and I don't really get nervous.
She'll be
That's
fine.
awesome.
He's probably just as nervous.
Yeah.
No, this is a full-fledged, amazing vampire with culture, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
he's a little intimidating, and I'll probably be quiet, which is
I
never
know.
happens.
I'm just gonna be like, I'll look over and I'll be. This is
And I'll just be
this is
going-
the first time I've ever seen this in my life. You're not talking. I cannot believe this. So
I'll just be standing in the corner smiling, going,
Yeah, right. Not to get off the subject. But,
No, it's fine.
"Oh, please do." I'm blushing.
But remember when I told you that I'm in a spirited location.
sure.
I've got a really super cold spot right next to me. I mean, it's like ice cold,
Okay.
and it's just been standing there probably for the last 5 minutes.
I
Well,
wonder if it's trying to get me to notice it.
yeah,
I
or
don't know,
or
but
our
it's-
reputation precedes
I have
us. So
over here. I
Like
have the,
with
I have
Sam.
the heater
Yeah.
on. I have the
Can
heater.
you at least
on
drop
over
a
here.
millimeter right there then? I need
Yeah,
some
you
more
need to
data.
put some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel
Put it
Meter
on log.
K2. Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? Your sense is sometimes it's even better than a thermometer. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
Yeah.
feeling
yeah.
it and you
No,
know
no.
that there's no vent coming from
No.
this way, and then you've got heat coming from this way, and then all of a
I
sudden it's
pretty much
cold.
know what's here anyways. I'm a medium anyways, so it
Okay.
doesn't really
Oh,
matter.
okay.
Yeah.
What
But,
what
I
are,
mean,
what are
it's
you
just
what are you what are you feeling? What kind of spirit are you feeling?
child actually?
Oh wow.
Because
Okay.
actually there is a child named Eddie here,
Okay.
and I've sensed him when we first came up here to investigate.
There's
I was
also a
outside.
little girl. There's a female.
Yeah, and that's the second time I've heard that. There's a little girl, but
I'm picking up on a little girl.
yeah, yeah,
Kristi, this is why I like investigating with Kristi.
yeah.
See, that's why I need Kristi to find out where the little
Yeah.
girl stands, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can be
but
sensitive.
it
Yeah.
doesn't
Well,
always.
you know,
I
and
do
and
one.
Yeah, it doesn't always work like that. I try to explain
Right.
that to Shane that it's just like it can't be on command.
No.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's almost like they picked you to saying, "Oh, you can pay
Sure.
attention now."
sure.
Right.
You know?
They pick you sometimes. Now
yeah.
there's exceptions like Amy Allen and those like
Yeah.
they can just
Yep.
when they lower their and they can see anything and everything.
Yep, yep.
Mhm.
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
It's letting
I
a
would
lot
have
in.
to-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's letting a lot in. And you know, another thing that could be a possibility, Jay, of why there might be two energies by you is with your setup there on Sunday. They might not be used to having that in this room or something like that, and they're going there to check it out and
Trying
just
to
being like,
figure
yeah, what is this? We've never seen this
Right.
before. Who are these people on this? What is this screen? You know,
Right.
what
Kids
is going
are
on?
And I talk,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
talk to them when I come in. I greet them and whoever it is.
That's good.
I know
Yeah.
that Eddie probably comes in and out.
The little girl wants some bubble gum.
There is another little girl here. The owners have a little girl, and
Okay.
she and they love to follow her around.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
she's just and you got some pictures of her with I think a nice green orb that was really close to her. It was really kind of cool.
Okay.
But Nico on the stream here asked, "What's the difference in feelings from an adult to a child, and so on?" You want to take that one, Kristi?
This is
Well,
a
the
good.
thing
This is a
is-
good subject. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right.
Kristi.
Okay. The thing of it is what you have to learn is that there are a lot of spirits that will present themselves as children.
Mhm.
And they do that because us as mundanes or fleshies or whatever you want to call it
Yeah.
is we're more apt to accept a child. So you really have to be careful with that because it could be something a little bit more malevolent that is showing itself as a child. But as far as being able to feel the difference between the two, it comes with experience. Now that's
Mhm.
my opinion.
Right.
It comes with experience of knowing, and also if you can see stuff. A lot of times
I was
I
just
can
gonna say
see.
that. That's how I knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see in my mind's eye.
Yep,
I don't
yep.
I don't have the clairvoyance, but I can see
Yep.
in my mind what it's trying to show me.
Mhm.
But everybody is different. Everybody is different,
Mhm.
Right.
except you need to make sure that it's not something else portraying itself as a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could picture this. I would say it would be Eddie actually looking at the monitors with his mouth open, going.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's
Because
why I
of
said
fact-
bubble gum.
Yeah, because
It's
it's
showing me
just
bubble gum.
Yeah, it's just like this amazing thing. You know, they've been here for a long time. I mean, there's
Sure.
some other ones that have been here for.
Well, I'm getting like late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't know anything about where you're at, but that's
1856.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Look at Kristi
Yeah.
pulling out all
So-
the stops. You're the
right?
star.
So I mean, and I believe there are no coincidences. So you
I
just
agree.
ruled out. No,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. So.
The universe will lay everything out as it should
Yep.
be, and
I'll still go. What the hell? But it's just kind of, that's just the way it is. But,
Very true. Very true.
right.
so how do you guys feel? I mean, tell me about when you first got that gig for Paraflixx. I mean, were you totally surprised? Were you?
Oh,
just like this was out of left field, or was this coming?
Well,
Did you know?
I was approached by Brian John Laverty, and he said something was coming up that was going to basically kind of bring the paranormal community together in one place instead of being kind of scattered all over. I mean, there are different streaming services that do cater to to paranormal stuff, but and when we were talking, kind of went to the place of, if you have a YouTube channel, right? There's 37 million YouTube channels. So it's really hard. It's really hard to get a following on there.
Yeah.
And when Kristi and I were doing it, we prepared just the same way we would for the show on Paraflixx, but I mean, you're getting like 20 views. You're putting in a lot of work. So I contacted Natalie Jones. Natalie is incredible. She's an incredible woman. She's so inspiring. Natalie is the president of Paraflixx. And she contacted me back, and we had about a half an hour meeting. I sent over what we were doing on YouTube, and she came back and basically was like, yeah, we want you guys. So it was really, really kind of cool and lucky to get in on something that is, on the ground floor and help it grow. Because there's an app, it's an app and you can stream it to your TV, mirror screen it to your TV. But Roku is coming up, Apple Fire Stick, whichever ones of those, and then smart TVs will be next. But it was kind of a whirlwind. And when I told Kristi, she was just like, let's go. But then reality sets in, because you sign a contract, and here you are, and okay, I'm kind of really not good at computers. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I've learned a lot within the past.
I'm not.
Yeah, I help.
That's my world.
Okay, yeah, but she's like, okay, I need synopses for the shows. I need these thumbnails. Can you do these thumbnails and stuff? And I was like, I don't know how to do this. I've never done this. We need backgrounds for this. And then basically, editing the shows, I go through iMovie, right? Just simple stuff. And then I sent her that because it, after I downloaded it was an MOV, and she's like, well, I can't play that. Can you get it to MP4? And I was like, I don't know how to do it. So then here we go. Make a Google machine. Okay, well, here's a transfer, of where you can convert it.
Did Katie know how to do it?
She helps out a lot. Yes.
Google is always your friend. Just Google it if you don't know.
Yeah, Google it, or
video.
Yeah. Honestly, so did that, but and it's been really great being on there. We've been trending for over a month now. I mean, we're coming up on about a month and a half, almost 2 months there. Right. We've been trending the whole time there, so it means people are watching the show, which is great.
Which I think is kind of difficult, because people that go onto a channel for paranormal, they want to see the scary shit. They want to see this, they want to see that, and not everybody's like, oh, let's go watch this talk show. But see, that's what we want to change. That's what we want to put in the forefront, to say, hey, this talk show is just as good as, a big old scary, shadow figure. Okay, that might trump a talk.
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
I would like
people want to. Yeah, people want to come and check out the show, to see scary stuff. But
sure,
if they go to watch a talk show like yours, and they get information, and then say, hey, we've heard this, or we've seen this, or hey, that makes sense, or they're kind of they're almost like being educated. I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it.
Yeah, and that's a big part of what we do too, and it kind of drives the guests, and kind of like when we take a deep dive into, researching the guest of, we just interviewed Darren Evans, and Darren Evans is popular from the Zozo. He's the guy with the Ouija boards, and he was on Ghost Adventures and wrote a book and things like that, and I mean we could have talked to him for like 4 hours about this stuff, but he was letting people know, about the ins and outs, what not to do with the Ouija board, what to do, things like that. Always make sure to close it out, this and that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
You're gonna
people
friend to
need
come
to
home
hear
with you.
that.
Yeah,
definitely need to hear
and
that.
and with Sean Daniel, who was just on this past week, sitting down with him and him learning about tech with him and how he's going, about things, and what he does, and talking about Doppler motion radar that he's using now. He's got this little thing. I think it.
I was waiting for Shane to say something.
Yeah,
I've been using Doppler radar myself. Just because I thought I was the only one.
We need to put you two guys together.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah, I'll work with him.
And then having a great talk with Patty Negri and going into, asking her, who were your influences? Who are your mentors? Who taught you how to do what you're doing? Because and we want to ask the questions that people don't ask. And going back to what I said earlier about getting this information out so people feel that they can know this person and not just look at them on the screen, but kind of go behind the camera and say, oh, this is a great conversation. So yeah, it's been nothing but a pleasure at Paraflixx. Natalie's incredible. Nick Benani is incredible. Patty is also incredible. Mike Hatcher is incredible, and Father Sebastian. I mean, they're the executive crew over there at Paraflixx, and they have been nothing but supportive. If you Natalie is so busy, but if you call her, she picks up the phone. What do you need? Okay, let's do this. Kristi is getting to know Nick a little bit more. She's been taking, he does classes. He has a paranormal school that he teaches a lot of things with some great people, and people learn from all the creators that we've had on with Brian or Doug or Francis, because I'll ask the simple questions. What equipment do you use? Because not a lot of people know what to do. They see the shows, but it's kind of like when you're investigating, and Kristi and I always like to say this, the biggest tool that you can have, and I think everybody in the community says this also, the biggest tool you can have is yourself. So that's your number one tool. Yeah. But then a lot of people.
For Josh Hurt, he won't say that. He's going to say he blade glass.
Blade of grass, absolutely.
So he needs his gear.
Yes, and some people might not want to use a K2 meter. They might want to use a Mel meter instead of a K2, or like one of the old, zip those ones. And some people, might not want to use a. Hey, Francis. Awesome. Some people might not want to use an IR camera. They just want to, use this. So we try to get into that with those people also. And I mean, everybody has been just super responsive, and it's incredible over there. So I'll try to pay some bills here real quick. If you want to subscribe, you can go for a 3-day free trial on paraflixx.com. Just put in your information there. And then if you like what you see after those 3 days, if you put in Patty 10, Natalie 10, or Nick 10, it will give you 10% off for the first three months. So guys, go over and check it out. There's not just for me or anything like that, but check out all the creators. I'm proud of all the other talk shows that are on there, from Paranormal Geek to the Dead Hours, to Sarge, to Twisted Talk. Cool. Yeah, to Twisted Talk. Everybody's there. Everybody's great there, and there's just some really great content. It's not just paranormal TV shows. I mean, there's movie shorts, there's music videos, there's actual movies, documentaries. It's really good. So thanks for letting me do that.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. No, and I was going to basically kind of plug it as well, but
okay,
you did my job for me.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, David.
Thank you,
take a
Natalie.
drink.
Yeah.
Take a drink of water now, David.
All right, hold
Take a
on
drink
for
of
a
water.
Right?
second. I know.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Now he said it all. I don't have a damn thing to say
Right?
now.
There you go. You say, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. No.
Kristi, just butt in. I was waiting for you to take over a little bit. Jeez.
No, you were doing so good. It was sounding so professional.
I know.
Didn't want
Can we
to
give Dave the golf clap? Yeah. Very good.
Thank
or
you.
the pageant wave.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you. Oh,
So,
I know.
who would probably, I was going to ask you this earlier, but who would probably be one of the most prominent people when you were growing up that influenced you into this type of field? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kristi. Go ahead.
Well, it's okay. Growing up in a really small town in the Bible Belt of Texas, we had very few channels. My father was a deacon in the Baptist church, so there was very few avenues or ways for me to learn about anything like that, and which it was kind of difficult because I had abilities and I couldn't understand why things would happen, and I had nobody to go to ask about it. I mean, honestly, I remember seeing like the commercials with the psychic number, call 1-800
Oh my God.
Oh and I
gosh.
was no, but seriously, I was tempted to do it because
Right.
I had nobody to ask, or I'd see something about Sylvia Brown or or Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
going to say that.
And it wasn't until I got out of there, and I mean, there was a haunted school that was tore down that everybody tried to go to in high school just to go spray paint it or something. But it was later on in life when I really understood. Of course, I knew the Warrens.
Yeah.
I know about that. I didn't even know about Hans Holzer until I was older.
Yeah. I read his books when I was younger.
But see, that I didn't have that. I didn't have the. Had I have come across stuff like that, now I loved Nancy Drew.
Oh, yeah.
I love and the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys?
And
Oh, heck yeah.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of that.
Scooby-Doo.
So I
Scooby-Doo.
had passion for it, and I had the want to learn. It just wasn't there for me. Yeah, it wasn't there for me. So my stuff comes later on, and okay, Zach Bagans, I was a fan.
Sure.
Hey, that's okay.
Hey, what's fine?
It.
Yeah, it's fine. Well,
Yes, okay, Zach Bagans, I did have a crush on you for a long time, but I've grown up.
Okay.
yeah, and I grew up in the Northeast in Philadelphia, so I would remember because, oh God, what was it? The Phil Donahue would have the Warrens on every once in a while, and they would show things, and this was right around when the Amityville movie came out and the book came out, and everybody knew about this quaint little town, and things like that, and the pictures they showed there. I distinctly remember, the one of the upstairs bedroom with the little boy just poking around, you can see the eyes and the head like that. I don't know if they debunked any of this stuff later on, but, like I said, after, when you get into high school and stuff like that, there's other things that you're really interested in. So you kind of pursue those things, girls and wrestling, so that was me.
Okay,
and,
girls.
Yeah. Girls are impressed by somebody who can, control anybody at any time.
Well, geez,
so.
I mean, you're almost 7 foot tall.
I know.
Oh, and I scared the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You should have seen this man.
so that, but just kind of like Kristi said, with when the shows kind of came on, it was it was Zach Bagans or Nick Groff, or Jason Hughes or Grant from Ghost. not Ghost Adventures,
Grant
but
Williams.
Grant Wilson,
for Ghost Hunters.
From Ghost Hunters, and then so that really kind of gets you into it, and then
Paranormal State was
that was pretty good.
I used to really like that.
That was way back. It had when Katrina was Katrina Wallman. She was at Penn State.
Yeah.
And Michelle Ballinger was actually in there before she became the renowned demonologist, occultist.
Sure.
That's somebody I would love to interview, but talk about being.
I know.
Right.
I would be so nervous.
So I mean those were the influences, of that, and I mean what these shows have been on for 12 years now, and there's been an absolute explosion in the interest in the paranormal,
that's what I would say.
which I think has a direct correlation to what's actually going on in the paranormal field, and I also feel that the shifting of the magnetic poles that are going on from north to south are having an effect on something like that.
We are in the age of Aquarius now.
That's true. Yeah.
And if you look,
they made a song about that.
Yeah, well, they did that back before we were in this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But Aquarius is an air sign, and air is associated with knowledge, with travel, with flow. So here comes some of my pagan stuff coming out here. but it is, and the veil is thinning.
Oh yeah.
Especially going into the age of Aquarius. It's thinning and thinning and thinning. And I think that's why there's been an explosion of paranormal interest, because we're getting more paranormal shit happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're able to pierce the veil and go from one to another. I mean, hell, there may even be dimensions that are opening up. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's been an explosion because there's been so many doors or portals or whatever you want to call it that's opening right now, and it has a lot to do with it going into the age of Aquarius.
Yeah. Yep.
So the next probably few years are going to be telltale signs.
Why?
I agree. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely.
Yes. We'll probably be able to get some shit from the government saying, yes, aliens are real.
Well, they've got in June, they have to disclose their findings to Congress, the CIA.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been watching it closely.
Yep. So I'll be watching C-SPAN on that day. So
you got it.
See, I have to surround myself with these people that I have to kind of keep in touch with everybody, because, man, sometimes I'm just like, all I do is go to work and come home, eat, sleep, and then all of a sudden
you've got to have monotony is something I'm allergic to. I can't be, I have to have David to keep me straight sometimes because he'll message, Kristi, we have this and this and this, and I may have it in my planner. I may have it reminder in my phone, but it ain't in here.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Kristi.
But I'm never late.
No, she's not. And she's a trooper. She was even really sick one day and she still came through and everything like that. So she's awesome. That's my PIC right there.
There you go.
My partner in crime right there. So.
Right.
Oh, we're going to have fun in Salem.
It's going to be a good time.
But just remember, I'm wearing 8-inch heels. So if I drink too much, you're really going to have to hold me up.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of money on them, and I'm not taking them off.
Video or it didn't happen.
If we, I know you're going to take them off if we're walking around Salem at 10 o'clock at night with Sam Bellatrusas, because I'm changing my dress shoes too.
Yeah, but I'll probably have them on my hand, and I'll be walking around barefooted. See my shoes!
That's awesome. It's so great. Yeah, there's a lot of factors of what Kristi went into, but yeah, I think and Shane, you can kind of get on this with me right here. I think a really big factor and this is just my opinion, is the changing of the poles, the magnetic field.
Sure.
I think there's things that are like Kristi said, that are piercing the veil through that, and it's causing a lot of weird things to happen. So.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just,
yes.
I mean, I'm hosting a podcast show. How crazy is that? So, that right there. Either I'm in an alternate dimension, or because I never ever thought that this would ever happen.
Well, see, that's what you get for hanging out with people like me.
Yeah,
Right.
do it. Just do it.
I crossed into some different dimension. I just said the world is upside down lately.
There you go.
Well, no, actually, what it is this happened last week.
Yes.
And it's just now coming out. And so we're not doing this live, actually. It is recorded from last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody stop. Yeah, everybody stop and talk for a second.
Stop and think for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. What is she saying?
Time dilation. Time.
That's awesome. That's so great, Kristi.
Oh, I have been in a situation where I've lost time driving in a car.
Oh, that's just a UFO. Don't worry about that.
No, and that is.
Yeah, right.
I was driving into Colorado or away from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely UFO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into Kansas. And
that's a great place to see them too.
This big storm coming and lightning and this and that, and I was doing 55 on a blacktop, and then it was a half hour later, and I was doing 90.
Wow.
Don't remember.
Sounds like me.
And I, to this day, I was just like, and then I told a couple other people that story, and then there's some people that say, yeah, I can relate to that, and I'm like, really? Just like,
yeah, it's.
Well, everything you just said kind of correlates with something saying hello to you. A big storm coming, which can probably.
It was a weird storm too.
Yeah, that could block a craft so you don't see
Storms
it.
Definitely influence stuff.
Absolutely.
I've got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Storms, water, running water.
I mean, I could still see this storm like it's like a picture in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I could forget to take out the garbage at home, but I can remember this stupid storm from 15, 16 years ago.
Right.
Wow.
Or like a dream. Certain dreams
that's cool.
They really stick out. Yeah, that's.
You should
go
ahead. Sorry, Kristi.
Sorry, David. Sorry, I'm so sorry, David. Go ahead, David.
It was my bad. You were speaking. It was my bad.
Well, you know what? I already freaking forgot what I was saying. Go ahead, David.
I was going to tell Jay to either run his forearms or his hands over a scanner somewhere to see if anything comes up.
Right. I'm sure Shane could probably build one.
Yeah, I can build you a scanner. We'll tell it.
Yeah. It's behind the neck.
They usually go back here.
Behind the neck.
Yeah, if you remember the probe.
Yeah.
You can ask Cartman about that.
Yeah, the Cartman knew all about the probe.
No, we had an incident at, we were talking about that time thing just a second ago when I was at Thomas House in Tennessee. We have different groups. It's I work with Ghost Hunt Weekends, which it's a paranormal entertainment type group that bring people in and anyway, okay, we'll go into that. But Friday night at the Thomas House, we were doing a recording, an EVP session. And there was a lady on the couch that was snoring. She had fallen asleep and she was snoring. Well, when we played the EVP back, there was no snoring on it.
Wow.
Now, we didn't think about it at that point in time. But the next night, we do EVPs in that same seance room. There was snoring on the recorder. There was nobody in the room snoring. That's when we were like, holy shit.
That's crazy.
We didn't get snoring last night, but now we got it tonight. So it was like,
I've experienced that before in a house that I lived in. And so
something
when you said
happening
that,
before, and then I mean, it's like, well, wait a minute. How can that be? That's bending space.
Actually, I've kind of found the ultimate time thing. So here's a really quick story.
Okay.
We did an investigation on a World War II warship called the LST 393. It's in Muskegon Harbor by Michigan. And being the nerd that I am, I was up in the radio room of this ship.
Okay.
And we're doing the investigation. We got all this equipment. So I noticed that the antennas were still up from World War II on that ship. So I connected my radio into the antenna from the ship.
Okay.
Well, at this time, we were having a storm coming in off of Lake Michigan. And we had noticed that a lot of times when this lightning would crackle, the frequencies that we were listening to, which are supposed to be only maritime military ship frequencies, would all of a sudden you'd get a 1940s preacher coming in there. We would start getting, we've been hit, emergency, and it would fade back into the static.
Oh my God.
And then it would lightning again, and it would come right up out of the static, and you'd hear that preacher talking again.
That's awesome.
Stuff that doesn't even exist. And we have this
you're tapping into the different frequencies. To make it possible to be able to get that. That's like, it's like a residual haunting, but you're tapping into a certain frequency that allows that to.
That's awesome.
And I have this all recorded audio by the computer that was recording the radio traffic. So I actually have the audio to all of this.
You still have it?
Yeah, I still have it. I keep every day.
Oh man, we've got to play that for another show.
Yeah,
definitely.
you got to release that out there.
Yeah,
release that out there. You could put
it
that
was
on.
clear.
On anything.
You don't have. It's none of this EVP where you kind of listen. Well, I thought I heard. No, this is like any person on the planet could just listen to it and be like, "Holy crap!"
That's
well, you need to turn that. There's a lot of shows, especially on the Travel Channel or Discovery Plus now.
Yep.
They take stuff from. Just anybody, if it's something that's really amazing, that right there, you could probably turn that in.
It's pretty cool.
He could actually. There's the Paraflixx Paraplays.
I saw that the other day.
You could submit it there also too.
And there's probably a good 20 minutes of it happening during the storm.
That's incredible. That's a good get, dude.
You need to get on that, man, because that's badass.
But a storm generates things.
Correct.
That's so awesome.
To prove that right there, the electricity in the air and
because once the storm was done,
it was over
completely for the whole rest. I mean, we were there for 3 days, and that was the only time it did it.
Wow.
Do you know what frequency it was running at?
Absolutely, 2.87 megahertz. Because the reason I had actually picked that was on the wall in the radio room, they have the original ship logs from back in the 1940s, mid 43.
Right.
And so they had the frequencies listed for their ship to ship and ship to shore frequencies where the military was talking. So I thought, my radio will tune there. So I tuned my ham radio to there. And sure enough, first all I was hearing is crackle. And occasionally I'd hear a normal ship doing their regular traffic out on Lake Michigan, But then as soon as that storm started, the 1940s preachers coming in, we're getting
that's crazy.
We've been hit, and all this kind of stuff.
I bet I can just see your face right now.
Oh yeah, I was like,
you're like.
My wife and I were like, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm recording all this every second.
How many people actually go through that and experience something like that and don't record it? You know what I mean?
That would be me.
Everything always happens. Like when we were just at St. Albans, I was walking up the grand staircase, and there's a guy, Donald, up there, and he doesn't like anybody. And when we first got there, I was looking at this causeway. It's right kind of in the front, facing the New River. And I was drawn. I said, "There's something there." And there was another guy, Brian, aka the Reaper. What's up, PD Breeze and Paranormal? Thank you. He was like, "Yeah, Donald's up there," and I got pushed up there. And getting pushed is a rarity in paranormal things. So, but when I was going up there, it was me, Tank, Jeff, and Robert. And I was going up these steps, and one guy, Jeff, was coming behind me. So when you get, and I heard a scream, and I ran down the stairs, and everything like that. But when you get an experience like that, your mouth just kind of drops. It's incredible, and it's what for me it's what brings me back to experience that again. But then again, my camera was facing this way.
Exactly.
Right. And I was listening to it. I turned everything up, just manipulating the audio. And I was like, it's not there. But I know it was because Tank heard it. Jeff heard it.
Right.
And you got a guy my size running right past you faster than you, because that's it.
And I'm standing down there going,
what? Not dealing with that.
There's twice that I have seen an amazing shadow figure. One was last week at St. Albans.
Sure.
And of course, I didn't have a camera. I'm like, I'm gonna walk down this 2 floor corridor in the dark by myself.
Peekaboo hallway is what it's
And
called.
I did, and then I got scared. Well, I didn't get scared, but an ambient light shows this 8-foot shadow person, and I'm like, oh hell no.
That was just David.
I turned around and took off running in the dark, knowing I'm about to probably run into a wall or a door or something. I didn't care. I was running. And finally, one of the guys, they're like, "Are you okay, Kristi? Flashlight." And I'm like, but that happened to me at Bobby Mackey's, where I saw a shadow figure. Luckily, there was one girl with me, and she was able to see it as well. And we just sat there with our jaws dropped, going, "Did you see those 3 shadows morph into one and become like 7-8 feet tall?" But you don't get that on film.
No, of course not.
You don't get
so
it.
that's a great get, Shane. That's incredible.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. It'd be incredible.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're about the end of time here tonight. So
okay.
Oh, really?
That hour flew by.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
this was
great.
awesome.
This was fun. This was really fun. You guys are just awesome guests. And I
Thank
can't
you.
wait.
You guys taking your time out for it.
Yeah, we can't
Most
wait to have you on
definitely.
again.
Yeah,
And most definitely. And Shane
anytime.
is definitely gonna have to connect with you, David, and hook up.
Yeah,
with
we need
that.
to get together. I sent Kristi a friend request, but I didn't.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, I got you. I printed you back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you can. My social media is all our haunted lives through everything on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, dude. So if anybody needs to find me, they can do that. And Shane or Jay, if you want to give Shane my email, it's no problem. Just send it over to him.
Okay.
Sure.
And mine's Kristi Paranormal at Gmail.
Yep.
If you just want to send an email, of course, Kristi Grissom on Facebook, Twitter. And what else am I on, David?
Instagram
is Kristi G60.
Yes.
Okay.
At Gmail. See, I need to get all one thing.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions for me, anything dealing with magic, pagan, with anything like that, message me. I'm more than happy to do a reading or anything like that. Shout out to Ghost Hunt Weekends and the guys on the Wraith Chasers.
Yep, and thank you to Paraflixx, and just like with Kristi, if you need to contact us for anything, advice or whatever, please do that through email or through our social media, and we're more than willing to talk to anybody. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Shane. This was incredible, Kristi. It's always great to see your smiling face. I'll see you in like 4 days.
Yeah.
So
right.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, and David and Kristi were awesome. So we want to say thank you so much again, and we hope to have you back.
absolutely.
Most definitely.
See you guys.